And we're live. And my ear's sticking out. It's Tuesday and we're back. And I know I missed last week, so I apologize for that. But it's good to be on here. We've had a lot going on the past couple of weeks. I am fresh back from GunCon and honestly almost forgot today was Tuesday. And that's kind of the reason I wasn't on here last week, because we decided that we were going to leave at like 5 a.m. on Wednesday. And we took my truck this time, so I needed to sleep. I don't know if this hat's going to work because I'm going to keep staring at my ear. But we have a problem. And Monty, wherever he went, he's in trouble. Because he decided he was going to chew my favorite hat. So I found this casual tee on the floor today. And yeah, I'm sure I will see him pooping pieces of hat out, won't I, Monty? Guilty. Sit. Sit. Yeah. He actually thinks it's a toy, so he's probably excited to see this. But yeah, we're excited to ramble. What's up, everybody? Adam's on here, Josiah's on here, Jathan's on here, Colton's on here. It's kind of fun. I feel like one by one, if I haven't already met y'all, then I'm meeting y'all. So I met Colton, I've now met Jathan, and yeah, pretty cool. But I am pretty upset about this hat because they don't have this on the website anymore. And it's been my favorite hat lately. I actually was wearing it today, and then I fell asleep on the couch, and then Monty found the hat. So he's in trouble right now. That's also why Dixie's not out here, because he loves when Dixie's out here and he's in trouble. So, hey, Charlie, what's up? Glad you're on here. I got a tree we need to cut. Oh, okay, big news. We'll announce that first. So first major announcement, the TikTok tree is no more. I'll have to tell Bill when he gets on here too, because he has asked quite a few times about the TikTok tree. But TikTok tree has officially fallen. So on our way back from GunCon, there was a huge storm that we pretty much followed from Tennessee into Georgia. Thank goodness we were like an hour to 30 minutes behind the storm the entire way, because it was pretty gnarly. And yeah, it blew the tree over. So thankfully it went in a safe direction and no chickens were harmed in the falling of this tree, and my house is safe, and all the other trees that I like that were around that area didn't get crushed. Otherwise I'd be pretty upset, but at least the tree's gone. No more worrying about that tree every time I go outside or every time the wind blows. But yeah, so we're just kind of waiting for people to hop on here. I plan to ramble quite a bit tonight. If anybody has any questions about GunCon or all those, what was I going to say? The TikTok tree. I'm like reading and my brain is rambling on its own tune. I don't know what's going on right now. Anyway, Cowboy Jeff, what's up? I'm going to use the TikTok wood for targets or gun furniture. Hey, that's kind of an interesting idea. So the tree itself had already died, but I mean, the wood didn't look like completely dead inside, because it's only been dead like maybe a few months to a year. So not the worst idea. I gotta at least clean it up because it's huge. It's going from my yard and all the way out into a neighbor's yard. I also found a dead armadillo, which is pretty interesting because it's like the shell of it is bleached and you can see the skeleton attached inside, which I've never seen the inside of an armadillo before, but I have been finding random bones in the backyard. So I'm wondering if the one bone I found was part of that armadillo that is no more. I'm not mad about the armadillo being no more, but I'm also, this is a little bit out there and I could be totally wrong, but I am convinced there's a bear around us, which like, I don't think you would typically see a bear around these here parts. But I swear there's a bear. I swear I've seen bear poop. I swear I've seen bear footprints. And then my husband said he saw one the other day. And as soon as he went to take a picture of it, Monty conveniently like ran and put his foot on top of it and scattered it. So I have no picture evidence. But I am pretty sure there's a bear. So I am resituating game cameras because I'm pretty sure there's a bear. Pretty sure. I wonder if the armadillo can be cooked. So the armadillo is there's no part of it. I wouldn't cook the armadillo. I can't imagine that would be good. But yeah, there's nothing left of the armadillo, just the shell. So that's kind of my little home update. Other than that, I just have a lot more yard work to do now because the tree's down. But it does make life a little bit easier because that was one of the trees I was nervous about doing myself or with the help of other trained chainsaw people, Charlie. um, so yeah, now we don't have to worry about that one. Flamethrower is going to come in very handy, though. You should see the piles of wood I have in my yard right now from all the trees we've taken down and then all the trees that the storm has knocked down. Pretty crazy. Anyway, so yeah, I got to decide if I'm going to do anything with the wood from the tree or if I'm just going to flamethrower it. One or the other, I'm sure. What animals came out of the TikTok tree? I haven't seen any that specifically came out of the tree. I'm sure there's like pine beetles or whatever because I saw, or you could hear the beetles inside of it. But other than that, I haven't really seen anything. The deer are all over the place though, which thankfully they are leaving my hydrangeas alone now because when the TikTok tree fell, it took down quite a few of the upper limbs from some like tulip poplars and stuff, and they love eating those leaves. So they're hanging out over there quite a bit and leaving all my plants alone. Monty. I guess I'm glad he's enjoying coming in my office now, but I also think he knows he's in trouble, so he keeps coming to check. I'm just glad he didn't eat too much of the plastic bill because I can't imagine that would be very good for him. Anyway, time to load the spas with bear loads. If he can't be cooked, he can be flamethrowed. Yes. Yeah, I got to get him out of the yard at least. It is. I did take a picture of it today, and I will probably put it on my Instagram story because it's just like kind of interesting to see the shell. Because it's perfectly. Hey, get your mouth off this hat. Go lay down. Go lay down. I thought he was coming to see me. He's just coming to get the remains of the hat. It's like adding insult to injury. I'm getting kicked out of the office. This is crazy. This dog is testing me today. Anyway, so yeah, that's the home life update. Lots of yard work to do. We've got some other we actually have some other pretty big news that I'll probably be announcing either end of July or early August. I just added an extra R. In the South, that's what we do, right? We add extra R's where we don't need them, like Warsh and Washington and yeah, all those kinds of things. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, either end of July or sometime in August, we've got news. But that's going to be even more work. I'm actually really excited about this though. So we've got news. We got some stuff to build out. Yeah. Hey, Swamp Dog's on here. What's up? If you saw Swamp Dog's comment, then yeah, I got to do an interview with Frank while we were at GunCon, and it was his first interview. But what he didn't know is I was even more nervous than he was because I'm not very good at interviews. I'm good at rambling. I'm not really good at interviews. Charlie, what did you buy at Brownells? Well, see, the thing is, when you visit Brownells in person, it's even worse than online because online you can like talk yourself out of things, even though I don't encourage you to talk yourself out of things. Like if you want something and it makes sense, get it, whatever. But at the store, it's like, man, I can buy this right here. And if they don't have it in the storefront, I can actually get online, order it online. Since the warehouse is right behind you, they throw your name up on a screen and it says order processing and you watch the whole thing go. And then in the back, they're processing your order. And in like 15 minutes, your order is sitting at the desk and you buy it. So it's kind of like dangerous. And I didn't ask, but I should have. I should have asked if it takes longer than 15 minutes, is it free? But I'm sure that's not the case. But it was pretty speedy delivery time. And we met a Santa Claus there, which was pretty cool. He gave us some tips and tricks for my dad. So if anybody needs a Santa, let me know. Brings a whole new meaning to ship to store. Yeah, it does. It really does. Honestly, it's really fun just to like order it on the computer. They also have merch in the store. So I got some merch because they had like Brownell sweatshirts that I wanted and some t-shirts I wanted. They had one t-shirt that Brooke, she hopped on last time we went live. This is really killing me. This hat actually, I guess, doesn't fit me and it's driving me crazy, but I needed a hat tonight, and obviously this one is no longer a hat. I guess I could have just sat it on top of my head. Oh yeah, of course you come right back in here when you hear me talking about my hat. It's crazy dog. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool though. If you haven't been to Brownells, 10 for 10 would recommend. If you're going through Iowa, stop by and see them. And if you're not, then go to GunCon next time. Hopefully they'll be having it there again. But yeah, so I'm just excited to see what they decide to do for GunCon 2024. We had an absolute blast again this year. If you don't follow me on Instagram, or if you do follow me on Instagram, you saw that my dad and I road tripped up there from Georgia to Iowa. The first day we did Georgia to we went Georgia to Dyersburg, but we stopped at Reelfoot Lake and got catfish at Boyette's, which I think I was trying to tell you all about Boyette's last time we were on here because we were on a food kick. But Boyette's is wonderful. I think my dad likes to tell people that his family's been going there for 100 years and he's been going for at least 50. But it's not like every year for 50 years, it's like sporadically. Although the last 2 years we've gone on the way to GunCon and back and on the way to GunCon this time. So we're 2 for 2 right now. But very good food. They do catfish steaks, which I've never actually seen catfish steaks anywhere but Boyette's. But yeah, really good food. Really good atmosphere. It's actually the first place I ever ate catfish as a kid. My brother tried to trick me into eating catfish and he told me it was chicken. And I was like, I'm not dumb. That doesn't even look like chicken. And then he bribed me and told me if I ate it and I didn't like it, he would give me a dime so I could ride the pony because there was like a little horse up front. Well, I've got news. They still have the pony, but it's a quarter now instead of 10 cents. So yeah, Swamp Dog, it's catfish steaks. And like I said, I've never seen them anywhere except Boyette's, but they're delicious. My dad always does fillets and steaks both so he can compare and contrast. And I think he said it's always catfish steaks that win. So gonna have to look into that. Yeah, like I said, I think everyone should go by and visit Boyette's. They've been around for a long time. I think they were celebrating their 100th anniversary right in the smack dab in the middle of COVID. I can't tell what he's doing. What are you doing? Sorry. Excuse me. Boyette's, it's right on Reelfoot Lake. I cannot remember the town. It's on Reelfoot Lake though. If you look up Boyette's, then it should bring it to you. But yeah, there's a lot of like nature centers, and then I'm pretty sure there's duck hunting. I've never been to Reelfoot Lake for anything but Boyette's, regrettably, have to admit that. But we were talking about it. It might be fun to try to go duck hunting up there. I've never been duck hunting. Either that or like a fishing trip would be fun. But yeah. I guess before we get into GunCon, if anybody else had anything exciting that they did this weekend, we can chit-chat about that because we got a lot to cover. There's a lot there. GunCon was a good event. It's a really good event. I feel like this cup looks bigger every single time I bring it on here. But hydration is important, right? Especially after this weekend in Iowa. I told everybody while we were there, I'm like, it is daggum hotter here than it has been in Georgia up until this point. But I got home, and when I got home from Iowa, it was almost cold. Hey, it was almost cold here. And then yesterday and today have been like scorching hot. So I guess the heat followed us. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything in the comments. You had I did miss something. I had a Mossberg 835 followed you home on Sunday. I'm guessing, I know you said you saw my dad walking out with his big grin. So I'm guessing you may have had a grin too. It was quite toasty, but GunCon definitely warmer than last year. Yeah, last year it was actually, if I remember right, it was raining and it was cold. At least during the range day. And then the second day, I remember it being like just kind of a nice warmness. But it was hot this time. Iowa wasn't playing around with the weather. And then there was some like pretty interesting storms again. Did the Toyota survive the road trip without braking? Yeah, we had no issues at all. And My dad, normally if we take his truck, he drives a majority of the trip and then I just jump in when he needs me to. This time, yours truly drove the entire trip. And that includes our 14-hour day home on Sunday, which it should have been. We actually started driving Saturday. We left a little bit early from GunCon and finished the final elite panel while we were driving, and stopped in at RMA Armor. Um, did I say that wrong? Is it RMA? Now I'm like doubting myself. Oh no, it is RMA. Okay, I was like, wait, why does that not sound right? Had to check. Sorry. Stopped in at RMA Armor there in Southern Iowa and got to do a full tour of them. And they just launched. Well, I don't know if they just launched. I need to look more into that. But they have women's plates, so I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't seen a whole lot of women's body armor. I know there's a few other companies that are making it, but we stopped in and did a tour with them. So excited about that. But it should have put us a little bit further down the road. Unfortunately, I don't know what was going on this past weekend, other than what I could try to find online, but we could not find a hotel in Missouri like to save our lives. We were looking all the way from Columbia to oh no, I forgot the name of it. It's south of St. Louis. Anyway, it was like 4 hours in front of us though, and we finally ended up having to go out an hour out of the way the wrong way to stay in Jefferson City because literally no hotel had rooms. But yeah, so then the next day was really long. But yeah, the Toyota did fine. I do need to get an oil change now, but other than that, she's all good. So pretty happy about that. Is there an airport near Brownells? The closest one would be Des Moines. But I like the road trip. I do like the road trip. Plus, it probably would have ended up being more expensive to fly into Des Moines. And I can't recall ever flying in there. I guess I did once when I went to see Brownells a few years ago for a pheasant hunt. Yeah, I guess I did fly in there. But anyway, yeah, the road trip was a lot of fun. I actually am kind of bummed that we didn't have more time to do a road trip and like stop in at more places because there's a lot of companies between Atlanta and Brownells in Iowa. Grinnell is where they're located. Sorry. But yeah, there's a ton. So like on our route directly, I didn't know Kenzie Optics was on our route, but I saw them on the way home. And then there's Barrett. We pass right by Barrett. If we get into Iowa or not into Iowa, depending on the way we go, we can either go Tennessee, Missouri, up that way, or we can go up and over. So yeah, there's a bunch of companies. So like Stern Defense, we could stop in and see them on the way up there. I'm pretty sure American Outdoor Brands is on the way or near. Also, CMMG is in Missouri. So there's a bunch of places we could have stopped in if we had like planned it out and been like, hey, coming through, we want to come see you. But next time, that's what we're going to do. Because I think it'd be super fun to go on a road trip. Also, the amount of gun stores you pass, just really fun. So if I need to win the lottery so I can just go on a road trip across America and stop in all these gun stores and make all of these small business owners happy. And myself too. Anyway, the little Focus did good to, oh, good. 42 miles per gallon. Okay, so that's like double what my truck was doing. Actually, I think it's for a while I was doing 24, which I was pretty excited about. Izzy, what's up? Glad you're on here. Yeah, anyway, sorry I got distracted. Izzy's in the house tonight, which is exciting. He's one of the reasons GunCon happens. Okay, so we can get into that now too. So GunCon 2023, it was amazing. It is so cool to see how much it has grown, even just since last year. So if you're not familiar with the event, then you can trace it back several years ago. The Gun Collective used to do a panel, but it was sort of attached with NRA's annual meeting. So it was typically during that weekend, he would host a panel, and then several industry folks would be on there to discuss what's going on, and all of that kind of stuff. And I had unfortunately not ever been able to attend those until I was going to go to the one in 2021. Obviously, NRA got canceled 2020. Then John had one scheduled for 2021 when NRA canceled. um, a week out and really screwed quite a few people over, including Primary Arms, who had a big range day, their first range day, and the Gun Collective, whose event, I don't even know if he knew this until, I really don't know. Anyway, I got a message from Eventbrite, I believe, letting me know that his event was canceled, where he didn't even know that people were getting that message. So he tried to pull it together that year, but I mean, with a week's notice and just craziness, I'm pretty sure Houston ended up like kind of trying to get a, I'm not really sure. Houston did a lot of weird stuff in 2021 for any sorts of events. So anyway, it didn't happen then. And then 2022, he was able to connect with Brownells, and GunCon is its own standalone event now. So honestly, I think that's the best thing he could have ever done. And I really think this event is something special, and it's something that I could see growing and being even bigger. And I mean, it's already, I think, super influential now, but it's like I said, it's really cool to see how it's changed even just since last year's first event. I think he had 45 days to pull it together, and it was great last year. This year it was even better, and you could tell he had the time to plan it out. And it, I think maybe it doubled with the amount of companies involved and people. I mean, there were so many people. It was really a cool event. Also, I mean, obviously you're at Brownells and there's all of that stuff at your fingertips, and there's all these companies involved for people to talk to and touch and see products, new products, products they've wanted to get their hands on. But the amount of people that were also engaged with the panel was pretty cool. When they had 3 panels this year also, sorry, I'm talking over my own self. They had 3 panels this year also. So it was I think it was an industry panel, and up and coming up, well, what do they call it, next gen, I think, maybe next gen panel, and then the elite. So super cool to have so many different voices. There was quite a few people that were involved in panels this year. And yeah, just overall a really great event. I wish I didn't leave early to try to drive back, but I really needed to be home Monday because I had a board meeting at our gun club. So yeah, that was the only reason we kind of rushed out of there. Next year, we'll, sorry, I'm picking up the dog. Next year, we're going to plan better for that. But I've said it to him, and I'll say it here too. Any way I can support this event or any events like it, I am down to do, because the more that we can get people at these events, the better it's going to be for all of us. So just really excited for him and glad it was a success. There was a ton of great companies involved, and we can get into that now too, because there's quite a lot to talk about. I may or may not have fallen in love with a magazine fed shotgun called the Genesis 12. It is the first shotgun. They had several out there, but it's the first full auto shotgun that I've ever shot that didn't jam on me. Um, and I've played around with quite a few guns and quite a few shotguns, and even a few full auto shotguns. So that was pretty daggum cool. Um, Oh, I see people are commenting. I would have gone last year if I had found out sooner. Definitely going back next year. Hey, that's a great feedback right there. If somebody would return, like Jathan, and if you didn't get to go this year, you should definitely go next year. Did y'all get a chance to check out the BioFire stuff? No, I somehow missed that. What are we talking about, BioFire? Auto shotguns sound awesome. Yeah, it's an experience, to say the least. And if you haven't heard of Genesis 12, I would at least look them up. I think they're out of Idaho. But they also do some stuff with like uh, the John Wick movies, I believe. So pretty cool. If you're on the panel, count me in. I was on the panel last year. This year I was not asked to be, but if he ever asks again, I'm happy to be on there. If not, there's a ton of other people that are great voices in the industry, and like I said, I'm just here to support it. So this dog is killing me. It's like you want to be mad at him, but he's just too cute. Oh, Swamp Dog says yes, Idaho, I think. Yeah, so that was super cool. I also got to reconnect with my LMT friends, and they brought out their 40 millimeter launcher. And I will admit this on video now, because I'm eventually going to have to post a video of the event. But my dad may or may not have embarrassed me with placement with the chalk rounds. I'm saying that the wind caught it, and I think everybody else that was standing around me will confirm that the wind caught mine and blew it, and there wasn't really a great chalk explosion for us, but my dad ended up launching it right at the right moment and had perfect placement of his chalk round. So he's pretty excited about that. There was also a stern defense competition. Hey, what do you need? You trying to steal this hat back? Crazy dog. Stern Defense was also running a competition, and I won't tell you too much about that. I won't tell you who won, but there was a lot of fun stuff going on. Oh, something else too. Taurus has a brand new look for their judge. I don't know how new it is, but it was wood grips. It's beautiful. It's honestly, I think I liked it better than the like funky rubber grips that they have. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that because y'all know I like a 410 shotgun. I am probably gonna have to get that one. It was cool to see Taurus out here too. There's a ton of companies out there. The dog just left the room, so if he comes back in here, I'll try to get him to sit where he can see. Yeah, the judge did look awesome, didn't it? I was So I think I had literally just posted. I can't remember which 410 off the top of my head because we have a 410 collection. I know they shoot other things too, like 45 Colt. Um, you know what's funny too is I think that so at range day they were shooting 45 Colt out of the judge. I think that might have been the first time I've ever shot 45 Colt out of the judge. I think I've always shot 410 just because that's kind of what we lean to. Um, Charlie, how much of that 410 ammo did you get? I actually didn't buy any of the 410 ammo that Brownells had, but they did have some on the shelf there. You know what's funny is I think I had a dream about buying ammo last night because when you asked that question, I was like, how many boxes did I get? But I didn't get any of those boxes. Did you want to buy a tactical shotgun? What one do you like? Okay, so there's a couple of options there. Mm, I mean, I'll just say it right now. I'm going to get one of those Genesis 12s. We were looking at them today, so and some of that goes with the news for what I have to announce either late July or August. Um, Absolutely, that one is awesome. Tactical shotgun. I don't. There's a lot to that. So, what are you wanting specifically? Like, what are you looking for in your shotgun? You want. All right. If you wanted to see the dog, here he is. Sit. All right. Look and smile. All right, Monty. Speak. 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 Good boy. Speak. 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 Good boy. Okay. All right, now go play. He's got a good voice. Johnny, if you want to send me a message, I can maybe answer that a little more specific, typing it out. I can give if there's any that you have an ions. What am I trying to say? If there are any that you specifically that you have your eye on, I can let you know if we've ever tried them or like enjoyed them or whatnot. Because there are a lot of different options. A lot of good shotguns. Okay, so barrel length on the judge. I don't know. So honestly, I don't think they make them anymore. But I want a raging judge. So the the one my dad has is a 7 shooter and it's massive and it's kind of ridiculous, but it's awesome. And then we had a holster company a couple of years ago make a holster that would fit the short barrel and the longer barrel. So that was pretty cool. I'm not sure if I was going to pick today what barrel length I would go with. Get your teeth off this hat. Go. Go. Anyway, I'm not really sure, but as soon as I decide, I will let you know on that too. Is Monty more than half grown? Good question. We don't know exactly how big he's gonna get. He is 8 months old, a little over 8 months old now, and he's over 70 pounds. So we were told maybe somewhere between 110 and 130 pounds full grown. He'll basically get to full size by a year as far as like how tall or long he's gonna be, and then he'll continue growing up until 2 years as far as like filling out. So, guy, you'd like a longer barrel revolver? I honestly like. I'm just kind of obsessed with how the Raging Judge looks. Um, so it's got that. Well, like I said, we've got both two different sizes on it, so it's got that longer barrel. But I don't know. I like snub noses too. It really just depends. Hello, Mrs. Swamp Dog. It was so good to see y'all. It's kind of so it's almost kind of a weird trip because like we were there the whole time. We got in Thursday. We did leave Saturday a little bit early, so a little bit missed out a little bit on all the shenanigans people got into after GunCon. But I just feel like we didn't get to we didn't get to talk to everybody as much as we did last year, and I do kind of miss that. Ben, what's up? Glad you're on here. They still make Raging Judge in limited editions. Interesting. I did not know that. I for some reason I thought they quit making them. But maybe that's just because I never see them anymore at the we usually I used to see them at Adventure Outdoors quite a bit. But yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. You shot the 30-30 lever action one time and it surprised you. In a good way. Something about a lever action. This is exciting too. I just got all of my footage back, like all the videos and everything back from going to Africa last year. So it's got like my full, like everything. It's got the hunts, it's got me actually taking the shots on the animals that I did get. And it's pretty crazy. I haven't looked through all of it yet. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. But for those of you that didn't know, the first animal I got in Africa was an impala with a 4570 lever action marlin. So pretty daggum cool. The 9mm lever gun KDG hat out there was pretty awesome too. There was a bunch of cool stuff out there. Come here. There were several suppressor companies out there. There was a lot of really good companies out at GunCon this year. There were last year too. Like, don't get me wrong, both events have been amazing. Oh, it kicked you a little bit? That 30-30? I don't know if it's the way my dad taught me to shoot guns when I was growing up, but he has quite a few like buffalo guns, that kind of stuff. Never been on a buffalo hunt. He's got stuff for Africa too. Never been out of the country, but my dad likes big bore stuff. So growing up, and then even in just maybe the last 10 years, he's taken more of that stuff out to shoot. And every time I shoot a gun, no matter what it is, he always tells me how hard it's going to kick. So from a young age, I have like learned to dig these things into my shoulder. And I've honestly never had a bad experience with recoil, but I always expect it to like throw me off the bench. So I'm always like, okay, I got this dug into my shoulder. And then I think I have videos of me shooting. Man, I can't remember what it was. I'll have to find that video and share it. But there's a video of me shooting one of his buffalo guns that he told me, he's like, this is gonna be bad. Your shoulder's gonna be really sore. And I shoot it, and my first reaction is, wow, that wasn't that bad at all. But he's always like dug in that it's gonna be the worst thing ever. You need to make a documentary style of your Africa trip with David. I need a narrator. I do need a narrator. There are a lot of new magazine fed lever actions that they've come out with recently. Yeah, there are. I know of at least two. Fight Lights and oh no, I can see their name. They make the Cyclops. Why am I drawing a blank? Somebody help me out. Bond. Yep. Thank you. I was like, they make the Cyclops. I literally talked to them for like an hour at SHOT Show. Bond Arms. You know, it's that time of night where who knows what I will remember or forget. Yeah, lean forward a little and dig it into your shoulder. But yeah. Yeah, Bond arms though. I was kind of embarrassed at all the free swag that girlfriend picked up at GunCon. Hey, you know what? If they didn't want you to pick it up, they wouldn't have it on the table. I'm actually a little bit bummed because I missed out on some of the free swag. Number one, because I didn't bring a bag with me, and then number two, there was a lot of people there, and then I didn't want to take everything. So, but they did have the little caps for your tires at one of the booths, and I was kind of sad. I think my dad might have picked some of those up there, so I may have to abscond with those from him. Search his bag, see if he left it in my truck. I don't know. Don't tell him if you're watching. Um, Henry Long Ranger and Browning BLR. Biofire were the guys with the smart gun. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. I did see them. I'll do narrator duty if I get to do it. You know what? If you've got the voice, then let's talk. Wilson Combat has the valve stem bullet covers. Was it Wilson? Because I thought it was the ammo company, and I have their card somewhere. No, I don't. It's in my truck. That's something I need to change for 2022, or what year are we in? For 2024. I need to be better at keeping up with business cards. Oh, funny story, actually. I have a pile of business cards right here. Because I was searching through them for one that I put in a smart place because I needed to message them, and then I just looked over here and Swamp Dog's yours is on top. So that's funny. Speaking of the devil, right on here right now. Lehigh Defense is owned by Wilson Combat. Ew, gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. I was like, I could have sworn they were not there, but you grabbed some for the Harley. Yeah, I wish I had grabbed them for the truck, but I know my dad got 4, and I can't see him ever like actually changing out anything on his truck, even though it's just like twist and change. But also, he's getting new tires tomorrow, which is why we didn't take his truck. He thought something was going on with the engine. Turns out he has a bubble in one of his tires, so I'm really glad we didn't take his truck because that could have been catastrophic while we were driving. Now I got the hiccups. Oh, it was also Chick-fil-A night. Anyway, so I'm rambling quite a bit here. Did anybody have anything specific you wanted to know about GunCon or just chit chat about? I'm probably gonna call it here in like 10 minutes. I'm trying to go to bed at a decent hour these days, just because, well, I guess sleep is kind of important. Also, I'm always like super tired when I get on here at night, but by the time we start getting to the end of the conversation or like closing out the night, I'm usually like super pumped, and then I can't sleep for like 2 hours. So my fault. I just spent $1,200 on new truck tires, Johnny. Ouch. That hurts. I had to spend, I don't remember how much it was, probably because I'm like blocking it out of my memory. But like 2 weeks before the machine gun shoot last year, I had to get new tires, and like I said, I think I'm mentally blocking out how much that was, because that was a very crazy, hectic couple of weeks. Ouch. But yeah, my mom had to get new tires today, and my dad is getting new tires tomorrow. So I'm sure they're not really happy with their current tire predicament. Colton, you just bought new tires too? It must be that time of year where they send out the little nail boy and they throw them out in everybody's thing, or they just like go and wear them out for you. I swear that's a thing, because every time I have, honestly, it's kind of interesting. I have bad luck with nails in tires or screws in tires, right? So like I bought my truck not last year. I bought my truck in 2018 and brought it home, and like 2 days after I bought my new truck, I had a nail in my tire. It just seems to happen quite a bit. And then I had a screw. Oh, that's part of why I had to get them. It's all coming back to me slowly, right? So I was up in South Carolina, and I got out to get coffee somewhere, and I noticed there was a giant bolt in my tire. So that was part of the reason I had to get new tires. It was also time, but that was part of the reason. Did y'all do the shoot house thing at Brownells on panel day? No, I totally missed that. I knew what was going on, and I totally missed it. We checked out that morning, so we got there just a little bit after it started, and then spent a little bit too much time in the shop, in the actual shop. And then for the most part, I ended up sitting and listening to most of the panels. So I kind of missed a little bit of stuff. I didn't get to see everybody on Saturday. And then I totally missed the shootout. So did you get to do it though? Yours were 9 years old. What? How are your tires 9 years old? Do you drive very much? And the heat, it's the heat in the summer that usually takes tires out. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Actually, funny story for those of you, some of you already know this because we've talked about it a few times before, but for those of you that don't, um, though, the year I got engaged, my husband and I drove from Georgia up to Glacier National Park, and then we were driving back down, and we were in Dinosaur National Park, 13 miles from cell service or any kind of we were off down like a gravel road. Yeah, we were on some like pretty back far into trail that's closed at certain time of years for like water coming in and whatnot. And we ended up getting a double flat tire because it was like 109, 112, something like that degrees outside. But yeah, we ended up getting 2 flat tires. And there's a lot more to that adventure. If y'all ever want me to get into it, I will, but it was nuts. So you missed a shoot house too. Got a debrief interview in the morning with the company I was telling you about, and Thanksgiving for oh yeah, absolutely. That was pretty cool. 60,000 miles. It's 60,000 in 9 years. Honestly, that's pretty cool if that's what you averaged, because I don't know why, but well, we do a lot of road trips, I guess, is what happens here. I did 60,000 since 2018. So what's that? And I had to get, okay, so like 3 years and I had to get new tires. 4 years. Well, good for you. Sorry you had to get new tires though. And you drove to Nebraska. You know what? I've actually never been to Nebraska, I don't believe. I just found a knife sitting on my desk, so now that's what I'm playing with. Yeah, I don't think I've ever, we drove past, I guess this Omaha, but I think, is there, and maybe in East Omaha or something in Iowa? Yeah. DeLance, if GunCon was anywhere but Iowa. DeLance, y'all should have been there. It was a good time. It's kind of better, actually, that it's in the middle of nowhere, I think. Because then, well, there's lots of reasons that it's pretty cool out there. I was going to say that sounded like knife clicks. Yeah. Fidget spinners, right? It will be interesting to see if GunCon continues to grow at the speed it's growing, what they'll do in the future as far as locations, because Brownells is a big place, but if, like I said, if it keeps growing at the pace it is, I don't know what they're going to do, which is a great problem to have, right? Is your carry license good in all of those states to Iowa? Yeah, so I looked ahead the way we drove. The only place that is not good is Illinois if you decide to go that direction. And if you decide to go through Illinois, you can drive through, but you can't stop and get out of your car. And you can't conceal carry. So at least that's what I remember reading. So we typically don't go through Illinois. Or I think both times when I went with Chad and when I went with my dad, we went through Illinois, like the tip of it, which like Cairo, I think. And the bridges that you go on to cross through that little tiny end of Illinois are longer than the actual piece of land that you're on. So there was not even a chance that you'd have to stop. But yeah, so that's it. But yeah, concealed carry, good in all of those. It's good in every state that we were in. If it grows at this rate by 2025, GunCon will need to be somewhere else. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm super curious to see how much it's gonna grow. Because I don't think it's stopping. I think it's gonna get better and better every year. And this year was great, and I thought last year was great too. So excited to see. Yeah, I mean anything else because I am probably gonna hop off here. I know there's already things that I did not talk about, but we can talk about them next week. Um, Other than that, any other questions before I hop off, or any other exciting announcements, or anybody else have to spend $1,200 on tires this week because uh, Johnny's hurting here with you, Johnny and my parents. I think the dog is in here to remind me that it's bedtime too. Swamp Dog with the assist. Make sure to hit that like. Well, so as always, I appreciate y'all hopping on here with me Tuesday nights. I know I've been a little bit inconsistent here recently, but I do plan on being on here on Tuesdays. You know what? It's kind of crazy is I got up here and I was like panicked that I wouldn't make it on time for 10, so I moved it to 10:10, and then I was actually on time, so I sat here, maybe ordered a couple of things on Amazon before I jumped on. I cannot confirm or deny if that happened, but it might have happened. Um So, yeah, anyway, I'm planning I am gonna be more consistent. I apologize for my inconsistency these last few months. And if you don't see me on here on Tuesday night, bother me, or at least tell me that you miss me or something, because I need to be better at this. I do enjoy doing these every Tuesday and chit-chatting and mostly rambling about who knows what. I'm surprised we didn't get into any specific topics other than GunCon. But yeah, hope y'all all have a great. Oh, Cowboy Jeff's in the tire situation too. All right, guys, be careful out there. The tire boy is after you. If you haven't had to get new tires yet, it might be coming for you. Hopefully not though. I'm not wishing that on any of you. But yeah, I like I was saying, I appreciate you all being on here. Glad to have y'all, and we'll touch base next week. Until then, I guess I'll just check y'all later. I need to like have something that ends the stream for me when I do the check mark, right? Also, maybe Dixie will be here next time, but like I said, because Monty was being a pain, I decided not to get her out. So, all right. Well, I hope you all have a good night, and I'll see you next week.